him before he was an assemblyman, and he was a district leader, a powerful district leader on the west side of Manhattan when he was about 19 years old and just got out of Stuyvesant High School, Jerry Nadler.
Well, thank you very much, Chuck. I want to begin by thanking Representative Mike Thompson and the distinguished Majority Whip, Jim Clyburn, for their leadership in introducing these two important gun safety bills. I also want to thank the Speaker and the rest of the Democratic leadership for their support in bringing this legislation to the floor more than once. Since the House passed these bills more than 2 years ago, an estimated 80,000 people have lost their lives to gun violence. Every day that we do not act is another day that families will mourn the loss of a loved one. Every day that we do not act is another day that our homes, our streets, our schools, and even our houses of worship are at stake, are less safe, because dangerous weapons are in the hands of people who should not legally be permitted to acquire them. Every day that we do not act is another day that the American people, who overwhelmingly support background checks, you've heard the statistics, and closing loopholes in the law, lose faith in their government's ability to keep them safe. That's why the House is acting today to pass both H.R. 8 and H.R. 1446. And that's why we will continue to act until both of these bills are signed into law. Majority Leader Schumer, as you've heard, and President Biden have long been champions of legislation to prevent gun violence. I know that they will actively be working to send this bill to the President's desk. I hope, and you just heard Senator Schumer say it, that the Senate Republicans will work with us to save lives instead of standing in the way of this important legislation. We cannot afford to lose another day. And you know, we heard today about, Jim Clyburn spoke eloquently about the Mother AME Church, but there's also the Tree of Life Synagogue, there's also Parkland High School. There are all these mass shootings that these two bills will greatly reduce. There are also individual shootings, not just mass shootings, individual shootings. In New York, we have very good gun safety laws, but we cannot enforce them over the borders from states that do not have good gun safety laws. These two bills will stop that problem. So these two bills will save thousands and thousands and thousands of lives every year. And for that, we have a moral duty to pass it. We have a political duty to pass it, given the polling. And if Republicans stand in the way, they'll pay a price, both morally and politically. And now it's my privilege to introduce one of the leaders in this fight in the Senate, Senator Chris Murphy.
Sheila Jackson.
Sheila.
I'm going